How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Flash from ALWT Gaming, aka Malachi36. I'm here with the Nine Ball. How are you doing today, good sir?
Doing good. We're together forming a dynamic duo.
Dynamic duo, buddy. Dynamic duo. Yeah, man. Like, a lot's happened in this past week, huh? Like, a lot of video game news, a lot of good little updates, right?
Yeah, some from unknown sources and some from just out of the blue.
Out of the blue, completely out of there. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about this with everybody and just kind of talk about. Of course, if you guys clicked on this on Twitch or if you guys are watching this on YouTube or anything like that, you guys already know that Kingdom Hearts has been announced, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But I have to, of course, address the audience, which is our Anchor audience, as our Spotify and anyone that's listening like on iTunes or anything like that. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Again, this is Season 2, Episode 15 of ALWT Things Gaming, where we talk video game news, give you guys little updates, everything that we have kind of came across in the past week. And yeah, these leaks are just getting pretty spicy. But before we dive into all that, Nine Ball, what have you been playing lately? You already know I always start off this on a weekly basis. What have you been playing lately? Oh, you know what? I actually wasn't even on the podcast last week. It was just you and Mildewy. So now it's just me and you. You know what I mean? Now we're going to get to spice it up. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. What's up? How have you been? What have you been playing?
I've been doing good. I mean, it's been not too many games lately. I've been trying to catch up on some of my shows.
Yeah.
But I've been playing a lot Planet Crafter. Of course, we've been doing some Bloodborne.
Yep.
Phasmophobia. Ghost Exiles, and I was looking at one weird game. We was looking at, what was it, Ghost Hunt?
Oh yeah, I remember you guys talking about that.
Yeah, it's like Ghostbusters, where one team plays as the ghost, and one team plays as the ghost hunters.
So it's like Prey almost.
Sort of. You have till, as the ghost hunters, you have till midnight to find and like get all the ghosts and trap them all.
Ooh.
At midnight, the tables turn, the ghosts get real powerful, and they'll start hunting you. But they can still beat you before midnight if they're really good. They're not like use props, throw things at you, stuff like that.
Heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of anime, a lot of new anime. So over this weekend, a lot of new stuff I dropped. Shari, which is that soccer anime that I've been actually anticipating for a while, that dropped. Right now it's interesting. It's not anything that's making me like, ooh, it's the next Haikyuu. It's nothing like that. It's not the next Critico's Basketball. Nothing like that if you talk about sports animes. But it does show a little bit of promise. I do like that they reference some real life players like Ronaldo and stuff, as well as real teams and everything like that. So definitely like that. Also, Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie had dropped this past Saturday. And that one was also interesting, and that one was on my list because it has My Dress Up Darling vibes to it, which I absolutely adore and love. My Dress Up Darling, like that's S tier anime to me. But then also like I don't even know, like a lot of what's it called? Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2. It started last Wednesday, so I watched that. And tomorrow the next episode is going to come out. Date Alive Season 4 had started last Friday. So I've been watching that, keeping up to date with that. Date Alive? You probably have, or at least
it's a game of it too.
Love Alive or Live Alive or whatever is the game, but
no, it's Date Alive, Real Reincarnation.
He says Date Alive.
Mm-hmm. Date Alive, Real Reincarnation.
Interesting. But the anime itself is actually
a visual novel. Never mind. That's still a game. It's a
yeah. The anime itself is pretty decent, pretty good. And then also Kaguya's Love Is War Season 3 had started last week. Just needless to say, a lot of anime started last week, and I also started a new anime new to me, I should say, which is The Detective's Already Dead, and I have 3 more episodes left in that one, and that one has my attention.
What type of anime is that? Sounds like might be one of mine. I love mystery anime. I didn't think I would.
It is mystery. It is mystery, and it's so. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this real fast because we got time. It's just 2 of us, dynamic duo, Armory 2, however you want to call it. I have been completely nerding out, and Ohio put me onto this, and literally, like, I got the anime app. I got an organizer app.
That's fine. You're not getting enough points.
All right. Sorry, a little ad. But I got this app that allows me to organize how I want to set my tiers of animes when I'm recommending animes and stuff. And this is what it looks like. It looks like this. So what I mean? So I kind of made it up. I have an S through F tier list. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know what's on my personal tier list right now. So, and this is not in any specific order. It's just, if it's S tier, it's S tier to me. It's not like it's number 1, number 2, number whatever like that. So I have it here as Sword Art Online, that's S tier. My Dress Up Darling, S tier. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, S tier. Wise Man's Grandchild, S tier. Rising of the Shield Hero, S tier. Your Lie in April, S. I'm just going to continue on with this. This is all S. Seven Deadly Sins. Darwin's Game. Jujutsu Kaisen. Rent a Girlfriend. Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? A Silent Voice. Demon Slayer. Attack on Titan. Classroom of the Elite. Hunter x Hunter. Haikyuu. Quintessential Quintuplets. The World's Finest Assassin Reincarnated as an Aristocrat. Mushoku Tensei, and Tokyo Revengers. Those are all S tier animes for me. You have some slice of lives in there. You have some isekais in there. You have some action in there.
What is Darwin? I had a question. Darwin's Game. I've seen this anime before, and it showed up a lot, and I have it on my watch list when I return back.
You of all people will absolutely love it. Think of Hunger Games meets Saw meets Survival. That's literally what it is. The premise of Darwin's Game is literally there's this game that's out there through the app, and it starts off with this guy just running away, like he's just running through the city and like panicking, like he's just like, what's going on here? Like I'm trying to find someone to call or to text or whatever for some help. He gets cornered. He ends up getting killed. But before he killed, he sends a game invite to one of his buddies, and he apologizes as he's doing it. So he sends a game invite to his buddy because he's trying to get some help so he can try to survive. And that buddy he sent the game invite to happens to be the main protagonist of this anime. And Kaname is his name. And Kaname opens the app as one of his other buddies was trying to see where the one guy that died. He's just like, hey, they're at school. He's like, hey, where did you guys see? We'll just say A. Have you guys seen A at all today? And they're like, no, we haven't seen him. And then Kaname's just like, hey, by the way, you and A, you guys got some really awesome summer jobs, didn't you? Because you guys were able to go ahead and get all this nice stuff. Like they were able to make a lot of money, and they didn't know how they did it. So it's just like, if they're looking for anyone that's part timers, please hook me up. He's just like, I don't think it's gonna be a thing for you. But as he's walking away, Kaname looks at his phone. He's like, oh, hey, A had texted me this game. What's it called? Darwin's Game. The guy's trying to get him to not click on it. He's like, why is it going to charge me? Clicks on it. A snake comes out of the phone, bites Kaname in the neck, and he inserts like some sort of sigil on him. And so now he's like that. Now that's indicating that he's a player of the game. And now there's now he's like in the world of life, like he's in the actual world. But then there's these events that happen that are literally life and death. And he either has to wait, like kill, and it's either a kill or be killed scenario. And it's such a great anime. And this is 100% up your alley, Nineball, 1,000%. I know that will be one that you like. Rewinding to your other question about the detective that is already dead. There's this guy, main protagonist. He's out there just trying to live life, and he just has a string of bad luck just happen to him. Just anything that is like, has anything that's bad, you name it, it's probably happened to him, or he's been involved in some sort of way. The latest thing that had happened is that he was walking down the street, just minding his own business, randomly gets pulled into a white van, and is pretty much threatened and told that he has to deliver this package from Tokyo to Japan or something like that, right? So they put him on a flight. He's up in the air. And he's just minding his own business. And out of nowhere, one of the attendants asks, they're like, hey, is there a detective on flight? He's like, huh? That's a weird statement. Like, I can understand if you're asking for a medic or a doctor on the flight, but why a detective? And the girl that happens to be right next to him was a detective. He's like, wait, what? Like, and they hit it off really well. And next thing you know, she pretty much volunteers him to be her sidekick. And she's just like, yeah, this is my sidekick, and and they go by code names for security purposes. And
Yeah.
there's this whole ordeal that happens on the plane. They end up surviving it. And then next thing you know, they start going on adventures together. Like, she actually is at his house after they land, and he goes back home. He's like, all right, well, I'll never see that girl again. Sees her again. And then and she's like pretty much trying to convince him to be her sidekick. It all ends up working out. Like, he was planning on refusing, but he ends up joining it with her. And at the end of the very first episode, the second episode, it fast forwards 3 years, but at the end of the first episode, he's just like, yeah, we're going to be together till death do us part. And then little did I know that was going to be so short. And it's indicating that she died at some point in the anime. So, and it's just like, and he's going through and the way they think about all these different ways of solving mysteries and crimes and stuff is so intricate. They pick up on every little detail and just think about it thoroughly through. They resolve these matters in spectacular ways. So I'm just like, okay, this is definitely on my list. So
I'm gonna start checking that one out. Probably might even start tonight.
Yeah, it has 12 episodes in it. Right now there's only a season 1. And I got 3 episodes to go. Just going through the rest of my list real quick. This is my A tier list. Overlord, Our Last Crusade or the Start of a New World, ReZero, Tonikawa Over the Moon for You, Toradora, My Hero Academia, Baki, Bofuri, God of High School, Fire Force, Arifureta, Infinite Dendogram, Black Clover, My Next Life as a Villainess. Those are all my A tier stuff.
Think whatever you say, like ReZero, it makes you think of that controversy because everyone was mad when he went with the one
Rem over Minfilia or whatever. Yeah. Tier B is Date Alive, Golden Time, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Kaguya, Love Is War, High School DxD, Don't Judge Me, Darling in the Franxx, Fate Apocalyptic, Akame ga Kill.
You've seen that one?
Yeah.
Fate Apocalyptic? Okay.
Yeah. I've seen 3 of the I've seen 4 of the Fates. I've seen Fate Stay Night, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, and then Fate ReZero, or Fate Zero, and then Fate Apocalyptic. So those are all the ones I've seen. Akame ga Kill, Kengan Ashura. Those are all B tier. C tier is The Day I Became a God, Gate, Komi Can't Communicate, Girlfriend, Konosuba, Henisuki, Are You Willing to Go Out with a Pervert as Long as She's a Cutie, Fairy Tail, that's my C tier, and then my D tier is Promised Neverland, which originally was in my S tier, but it dropped drastically because of how poorly they ended the series. And then just to kind of give context as far as what my tiers mean, S tiers are my must-see animes, and they're manga-worthy. Like, I'm even willing to read the manga on some of these. Extremely recommended. A tier is great anime and anticipating the next season / movie. Highly recommended. B tier is good to great anime. They're above average. Recommended. C tier is decent to good anime, so recommended in passing. It may not be on my forefront, but depending on who I'm speaking with, I might go ahead and recommend it to you. D tier is bad to decent anime, so I don't recommend those. E tier is bad anime, highly don't recommend. And F tier is terrible anime. I don't know why we even speak about this category.
I have some of those.
Yeah. So luckily I haven't came across any crazy ones lately like that, but those are my tier lists, and like I said, it's just been anime central. We're getting more too, which is ridiculous. Like we started, just new season just started for a lot of the ones I just mentioned on the 27th, which is next in 3 Wednesdays. So not tomorrow, not the 20th, but the 27th. So the ones after that, Komi Can't Communicate season 2 starts back up. So just stuff like that. Like, we just got a lot of animes that's going on right now, and I'm just trying to stay on top of, stay afloat. So yeah, really good stuff out there. I also wanted to go ahead and throw this out here too as well, as I try to make this a little pin. There we go. I do want to go ahead and talk about the Fantasy Gaming League, because there has been a couple changes on that one. So anyone that has been keeping up to date with this, so far this is our second year doing this on a annual basis. There's this thing called the Fantasy Gaming League that we do. We all compete against each other. It's all just for fun and for bragging rights, all that good stuff. We select games just like how it will be on fantasy football, but instead of going against one person every single week, you go against everybody throughout the course of the year. It's on a 100-point scale with 70 points being the threshold. Goes based off of Metacritic. Anything that scores below 70 loses you points. Anything that scores above 70 gains you points. And then anything above 90 is actually double points. So points that lead up to 90 are just single points, but if it's like it scores a 91, then you get 20 points because that's 20 points above 70. So you get 20 points for that. And then the extra 1 point is actually 2 points. Because it's 91, so you actually get 2 points off of that. So instead of getting 21 points, you only have 22. So here's what the lists are looking like right now, because there has been some games that dropped on all that good stuff. So Moga, which is Make Ohio Great Again, has Elden Ring, which got him 31 points. Pokemon Legends Arceus got him 13 points. Sifu, 10 points. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, 12 points. He has Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is pending. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, pending. He has 2 open spots and has a counter pick of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, which is not coming out. Renzoku-kin has God of War Ragnarok, pending. Triangle Strategy, 13 points. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, not coming out.
He got counter picked on it too.
Yep. Chocobo GP, -4 points. Kirby in the Forgotten Land, 15 points. Final Fantasy 16 pending. Metroid Prime 4 pending. He has an open spot and he has a counter pick of Diablo Immortal. ALWT Gaming, represented by yours truly, has Horizon Forbidden West, 19 points. A Plague Tale Requiem pending. Starfield pending. Ghostwire Tokyo, 7 points. Gotham Knights pending. Redfall pending. The King of Fighters 15, 11 points. Mario Strikers Battle League pending. Bayonetta 3 is my counter pick. And Illuminatus Living has Dying Light 2 Stay Human, 6 points. Bayonetta 3 pending. Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, 3 points. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope pending. Diablo Immortal pending. Shovel Knight Dig pending. He has 2 open spots and has a counter pick of Saints Row. We have Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which is 8 points. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, it's pending to be delayed. Saints Row, pending. Total War Warhammer 3, 16 points. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, pending. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, pending. Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, pending. He has an open spot, and he has a counter pick of Marvel's Midnight Sun. It's the 9-ball. And then lastly, but not leastly, Carrot Patch Inc., represented by Mildewy Carrot, has Gran Turismo 7, 17 points. Forspoken, pending. Tunic, 15 points. Splatoon 3, pending. Stray, pending. Salt and Sacrifice, pending. Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, pending. Hogwarts Legacy, pending. And he has a counter pick of Chocobo GP, which earned him 4 points since it went inside the negatives. So right now, your list as far as first to last is Ohio with 66 points. Carrot Patch Inc. with 37 points. ALWT Gaming with 36 points, my favorite number. We have Zaka Corp with 25 points. Renzoku-kin with 23 points. And Illuminatus Living with 9 points. So this is actually a pretty close game for the most part. Right now, obviously, it looks like Moga's like super high in the lead with this right now. But he does have the most games out of all of us that has officially came out. So
yeah, then Elden Ring's a thing. So
yeah, the only other person that comes close to him in as far as scoring is Renzoku-kin. And that's only because his Suicide Squad has been confirmed at 0 points since it's not coming out this year. So, yes. So, that's where we are currently at right now with the Fantasy Gaming League, if you will. And with that, we are 20 minutes in. Without further ado. Oh, and lastly, let me talk about what I've been playing real quick. I didn't actually even talk about that. We actually did play Hey, it's Ab, and Gravity, and my buddy Muhizi. We all have been playing quite a bit of Hood lately. We've been enjoying
which one?
Hood, the PlayStation Plus game.
Yeah, I haven't. I need to join you on that. I got it. I just ain't played it yet.
Yeah, it was surprisingly difficult. Like it was this it's definitely it's definitely buggy. I will say that I am very glad I got it as plus instead of actually spending the $40 for it. It definitely is worth the plus game for sure. And it is one of those ones where it's just like you can play against the NPC with your squad of 4. But then if you go into the main game modes, which is the two other ones, is Gold Rush and then another one where you're just kind of doing the same thing. It's a squad of 4 going against the NPC, but also going against another squad that's trying to do the same thing by extracting the gold. So it's very intricate, very strategic, and it looks like it could be a lot of fun. I've heard about players that are not trying to actually play the game the way it's intended. They're just going in there trying to get kills and stuff, which I guess makes it seem a little annoying or whatever. But we have yet to actually do that. We've just been doing the what's it called, the NPCs, and that took us almost a full Friday night, Saturday, and we probably got our 2 wins towards the end of the day as we were progressing and strategizing of how we can actually get this thing, because there's these guys called sheriffs. There's 1 per map, and those guys literally are unkillable. You can't kill them. You can stun them to slow them down, but you have to steal the key from them. So you have to do that stealthily. You have to pickpocket them. Then you got to go to the vault to unlock it, which is already guarded by some guards. So you have to do a little fighting there or a little bit of assassinations there. Then after you unlock the vault, you grab the treasure chest. You have to take it all the way to the extraction point, which can alert guards. And then once you start extracting, then a horde of enemies will start coming towards you, trying to take up the little domination bubble, if you will, and try to destroy the treasure so that way you can't get it. But that also signals the sheriff to try to come over and get it. So you have to try to find a way to stop the sheriff, stun the sheriff for a good amount of time, and you have to hold off this horde while you're extracting this gold. So, unique stuff.
That sounds kind of, like overwhelming.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, we had a good time with it. Like, there was some raging that definitely went on for sure. I can't act like it was everything was perfect with it, but it was definitely something that was just like, okay, like we had fun with it. We were definitely enticed to keep on playing and try to keep on getting better and go through all these different maps because it's not always the same. So it was cool. It was cool. But enough about that. We're gonna go on over to story number 1, Kingdom Hearts 4. That is correct. Chris Pereira from GameSpot says this in their article. Square Enix has announced that development is underway on Kingdom Hearts 4, the next entry long-running Disney RPG series. The news came as part of the 20th anniversary celebration event and included the release of the very first trailer, which you can watch below, which I'm actually going to set up right now. So I'm going to pause the story real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and post it so we can go ahead and watch this bad boy, because I want to make sure you guys are not missing out on this. It was something nice. It was something of nice. All right. Let me make sure it's the right thing. Oh. All right. There we go. Go live. All right. So you guys can see it right here. I'm going to start playing it now. It's on mute, so you guys will not be able to hear any music with it. However, it is something that I did. Yeah, exactly. Copyright. So, continue on with the story. Kingdom Hearts 4 kicks off a new storyline for the franchise, the Lost Master arc. Sora returns, though as you'll see in the trailer and screenshots, he's sporting a new look. The trailer showcases some brief glimpses of gameplay as Sora squares off against a giant shadow monster in the middle of the city street. This new location, Quadratum, Square Enix has described as a, quote, large, expansive city set in a gorgeous, realistic world unlike anything we've seen before in Kingdom Hearts. No further details were shared on Quadratum, or the overall gameplay of the story. Donald and Goofy both return to Kingdom Hearts 4 in a mysterious new character named Strelitzia, who will also be introduced. There's no words on what platform Kingdom Hearts 4 will be available on, although Kingdom Hearts 3 was eventually released for PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch, with the later being a cloud streaming version. Likewise, there's also no release date to be shared. So, have you seen this trailer yet, Nineball?
No, this is my first time watching it, actually.
Yeah. So, looking at this, first and foremost, so I've seen this trailer already. And let me go ahead and try to expand this a little bit more real quick, because I want to make sure you guys can fully see what's happening here. So you guys might see a little cut off on Nineball's face, but that's okay right now. Bam. Okay. So one of the biggest things that I'm getting here is Final Fantasy Advent Children vibes.
This is definitely Final Fantasy vibes right there.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think I'm enjoying the most about this. I did like the first Kingdom Hearts. I didn't actually beat it, and you guys already know my whole backstory with that. But yeah, I like the first Kingdom Hearts. This is, by the way, what we're about to go into right now is gameplay. Right there. Bam, gameplay. Look at that. Look how smooth that is. You know what I mean? Yeah. All that looks great to me. But again, I'm a huge Final Fantasy head. So seeing that they're steering more into the Final Fantasy-fication of it definitely looks intriguing to me and makes me even more inclined to go and play the first two games, or all three of them technically, try to get through them before this game even comes out so I can see what this is going to be like. And they do still have some Disney elements in there for sure. But Tim Geddes, which is from Kind of Funny Games, have mentioned this, and I also agree with him on this too. This also gave him some what's it called? Some Final Digimon vibes. It gave him Digimon vibes too. So and now it kind of switches on over to Goofy and Donald just touring through wherever they're at, because it's actually unknown of where they're actually officially at. But you kind of see that going on, and then they'll just go ahead and little light there, which is symbolized to be Hades and everything like that. So very curious to see what this game is going to head towards to. And I've been hearing more again, the more as Kingdom Hearts is going on, the more you're actually seeing less and less of the Disney stuff being imperative inside the story, and more the people call it Kingdom Hearts of it, but I actually think it's more of the Final Fantasy version of it, to be honest with you. So what are your thoughts after seeing that trailer?
It looks nice. The only worry I have is how will Disney's characters look? Because you don't want them to look out of place.
Well, yeah. They are using Unreal Engine 5. They did mention that.
Yeah. No, it's not. I'm not saying like it's going to look bad with them, but they may look kind of out of place. They look too cartoony, and you've got like... you got like the characters look all real, and then you got like Disney's characters right there, like Mickey and them.
Well, honestly, I think it will work out, and the reason why I say that is because I think that what they're going to end up doing is more of what they did for Jump Force, because Jump Force, even though that game didn't get fully received that well, ultimately, like a lot of people liked the fighting in it, but there was just some things that were lacking in it. Ultimately, people like the way that they looked. These are cartoon characters that are in New York, literally. They're in Chinatown. They're literally just out there doing their thing. So that was something that was very interesting to see, and how they kind of developed out of this. So I think that they can do it. It's just kind of right now we're seeing Sora in this light, which is just a little teaser trailer. The game may not even look like this when it actually comes out. We'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, first look, it looks amazing to me, and I honestly can't wait for it.
Yeah, it looks nice. I don't know much about the universe itself. I played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts, but never really got into it. It never really. When I first heard of it a long time ago, I kind of blew it off.
I did the same. I literally did the same exact thing. I'm gonna try to close the window real fast because I lost the window. So let me see if I can close it and then come back in.
Okay.
Because yeah, it's acted kind of weird. Let's just be 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties. Hopefully it'll pop right on up.
Yeah, he's popping in now.
Yep, I got to turn my camera back on. Pop that bad boy in. And we're popped back up, but I still... All right, I'll worry about that a little later because I'm just trying to get... What happened is I tried to go ahead and move the window down, but I moved it so far down that I can't pull it back up. So it's just one of those weird things, but it is what it is. We'll work around that off the stream.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I agree with you. I was like kind of in the same boat. Like I never actually saw gameplay for it because when we first were watching, well, when I first saw Kingdom Hearts, I didn't see a whole lot of video game commercials out there. So it was more like word of mouth. And I would see the characters on it, and I was just like, this looks really weird. And it wasn't until years later when I gave it a chance. I was like, okay, this is actually really dope.
All right.
So yeah. But yeah, kind of going on with that, because story number 2 and 3 are kind of in the same vein as the Kingdom Hearts 4 announcement. NVIDIA leaked game lists. So this is what we want to talk. This is what I wanted to take the conversation, because Wes Felon from PC Gamer says this in the article. In early September, a web developer tinkering around with NVIDIA's GeForce Now client discovered a way to access a list of all the games in the GFN's database, some 18,000. Among the database entries, he found games that hadn't been announced for GeForce Now streaming support and what seemed to be a goldmine of games that hadn't been announced, period. After the list began to spread, NVIDIA told WCC F-Tech that it contained, quote, both released and or speculative titles used only for internal tracking and testing, end quote. And that, in conclusion on the list, neither confirms nor an announcement of any game. But since September, it has started to look more and more like those speculative titles are real games. Here are some of the lists of games that are on that list that has yet to be announced. So, hold on to your panties, guys. Half-Life 2 Remastered. Chrono Cross Remastered. And I think that was actually one that was announced with Switch. Final Fantasy IX Remake, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered. Kingdom Hearts 4, which was our first story. New strategy game, which is speculated to be Triangle Strategy, which was just recently announced. Tactics Ogre Remastered. An unannounced card game 2. BioShock 2022, which might be a BioShock remaster or remake. BioShock RTX remaster, so that's going to be on NVIDIA. XCOM 3. Endless Legend 2. Shin Megami Tensei 5, which I believe has already been announced.
I think Endless Legends 2 is already out.
There you go. Total War 9. Mirror's Edge RTX remaster, so on NVIDIA. Untitled Respawn game, so Respawn's working on a new game that have a title to it. Batman Arkham Knight RTX remastered. Injustice 3 Gods Will Fall, so a new Injustice game. Mortal Kombat 12. Dragon's Dogma 2. That was an interesting one. Monster Hunters 6. That one is a mildewy carrot thing. Resident Evil 4 remake. That is it's the 9-ball thing. Street Fighter 6, which I think wasn't that recently announced?
Yeah, that was recently announced, wasn't it?
Yeah. Gears 6, so Gears of War 6.
Not surprised.
Halo 5 Guardians. Tekken 8, which that one surprised me. Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 HD, so I think that one's just a PS3 port coming over the PC or maybe to later consoles.
We already got a PS. No, we don't have. We have PlayStation 2 remake. Okay, no, we don't have the.
And then Time Splitters 2 remastered.
Time Splitters?
Yeah, not just Time Splitters, but Time Splitters 2.
That's going back.
Yeah. So, my guy, what is your thoughts here?
What do you looking? Oh.
No, I was ahead. That's why I wanted to take a conversation. I wanted to see what's on your thoughts, like what's happening.
This looks pretty real. I can see a Half-Life 2 because everybody, it's the common joke, Valve can't count the 3. Chrono Cross, we got Chrono Cross remaster. Like I said, just wait on Final Fantasy IX remake. We're gonna deal with that one a little bit. Kingdom Hearts 4. We just watched the trailer for that. Triangle Strategy. Tactics Ogre. I've heard of something about what Tactical Ogre. Unannounced card game. That could be a lot. That could have been Master Duel. BioShock 2022. BioShock RTX remaster. I could see that one. XCOM 3. Yeah, I can see that. Endless Legends 2. Yep. That's out. Mirror's Edge. And Gosh Just. That sounds. Yeah, they've been really on that universe. Injustice universe. And Resident Evil 4 remake. Everybody talks about that one. I would be surprised if that doesn't come out. Most of these, I would say this is pretty legit. Even the Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. I've heard Metal Gear Solid being thrown around. I think this is very legit. This is somebody hit. They're just trying to play it off, but really whoever did this really hit a gold mine.
Yeah. So with that being said, because I'm actually in the same camp with you, like after hearing this news, the least likely thing that I was expecting, even though I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3, I wasn't expecting to hear anything that's Kingdom Hearts 4 related. With that being said, with that having so much credibility to it, yes, I'm surprised about Tekken 8. I'm happy for it, but I'm surprised that there's going to be a Tekken 8. But the one that caught my eye was Final Fantasy IX Remake. So I want to talk about that in story number 3. Final Fantasy IX Remake. ... Is it real? Parth Bulgaria from Game Rant says this in the article. Final Fantasy IX is probably one of the most beloved games in the series. It's also the most critically acclaimed game in the Final Fantasy franchise and has a Metacritic score of 94. It has been a while since the new Final Fantasy games have reached that high a score, with Final Fantasy XIV and Endwalker coming to the closest in recent memory with its rating of 92. Oh wow, didn't know it scored that high. Square Enix has released several Final Fantasy games on modern platforms in the past few years. This list includes simple ports, HD remasters, and full remakes of Final Fantasy VII. Some fans have asked Square Enix to remake the other Final Fantasy games, particularly the classic titles that are not in full 3D, but publisher has not released any new information regarding the same. The NVIDIA leak from last year mentioned that a Final Fantasy IX remake is in development, and in the light recent events, it looks like the leak will end up being true. Nineball, you're someone that has beat 9, right?
Yeah, I still got it. Let me grab it. Yeah, still got the PlayStation 1 edition.
So let me ask you this: I know you haven't beat 7 remake, right?
Have not.
So, but you played a decent amount of it, correct?
Oh, a huge amount of it.
Okay. So my question then to you is: a Final Fantasy VII remake model, but in the Final Fantasy IX universe, is that something that you specifically are looking forward to?
It could work, but you would have to trade off characters. But a lot of them do have, what is that, cooperative attacks? I really need to go back through 9. It could work. I mean, Final Fantasy VII looks in place fantastically for the game, for what it is. And getting rid of the ATB.
Technically, you still have it.
It's still there, but it's not as intrusive as the older one, where you have to watch your little bar fill up. Like, come on, don't you attack? Sorry, kid. That was my ultimate weapon on 8. I had to sit there. I lost 2 of my characters. I'm waiting to run me on this bar to fill up so I can revive somebody. Like, praying to God they don't do that. But it could work. The model is great, but the world on 9 is totally different than 7. I don't think it's gonna be like steampunky or anything. Some steampunk, but
it's a little mixture of fantasy and steampunk.
Yeah, fantasy steampunk. Yeah, I'd go for that. Especially when you find out certain things about Vivian stuff. But I'm stoked. This is real. I'm stoked about it. They need to go ahead. They need to do it now and get the ball rolling. And
So,
also, oh, go ahead.
well, I was going to ask you this. So obviously, right now, Final Fantasy IX Beloved One, potential remake in the works. Would you rather have taken this or 8 or 10?
Oh, that's a hard one.
If they had to remake any of them in the Final Fantasy VII remake model, which again they may not even do. We don't know what the remake's truly going to be.
I would take 10. I love 8. I'm sorry, it's one of the first Final Fantasy ones I played, and I absolutely adore it. But looking at it from it's my personal one. If they had to remake one personally for me, it would be 8. But looking overall, I would have to say 10 probably would be the best one. It's not too much remastering. The characters, the voice acting, and all that was spectacular. The story is great.
Fantastic story.
On 10.
Yes,
8,
I agree.
8's good, but it gets, let's say, a little convoluted at the end there. Because you go into time travel. And anybody that knows any show or anything with time travel, it gets weird.
Mm-hmm.
9, I need to replay it. It's been forever since I played it. I just remember I barely survived the last boss. I remember the Adolans on 9, because I remember Atmos and most of them came back. Shiva's almost always in there. Ifrit,
Yeah.
Bahamut, but they had I think the Ark was one of the big ones. Alexander. You had a bunch of kind of new ones, but I would go for me personally. I would say, well, not me personally, but I would say overall, I would say 10 would be the best one to do. Which one do you think?
I'm torn because I think that 10 will be the most popular one for everything you just said. Story's amazing. It was already graphically impressive especially for a PS2 game. Like, that's a game that is now playable on PS4. I think Xbox Series X and S. It was on their Game Pass at one point. Maybe still is. And it was on Nintendo Switch. Like, I
got it on Steam.
Yeah, it's on PC. Like, it was something that was already beautiful. And it was very intricate. Again, the voice act, that was the first thing they brought voice actors for Final Fantasy, which was huge. Story was something that was just like, okay, this is going someplace. And then, of course, you can't forget the very famous Blitzball. Blitzball was awesome.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, Blitzball was awesome in that. So, I would say, if I had to choose between 8, 9, and 10, I'm still going through 9, so I don't even have an opinion enough for at least on a remake conversation. I don't have enough an opinion to put 9 in the running on that. However, I am like, I wonder if they did this because I started playing 9 last year, like towards the end of last year. But obviously that's not the case. But it was just one of those things. It was just like, all right, I got 9, I picked it up, I'm going through 9. I do like where it's going, and if they make a remake of it, would I get it day one? Probably. I probably would get it day one just because I do want to dive inside that world. I do want to see the story of Zidane and that one girl. I can't remember what her name is right now.
Garnet. Princess Garnet.
Okay, but she went by Raven, right? Or something like that? Like she went by a code name? Like a bird name or something?
No.
I thought he changed her name when they escaped the castle.
I can't remember if they did or didn't. I always just left it Garnet.
Yeah. Well, that's her actual name. But I think she changed her name. That's the last place that I remember leaving off at. Is that I think he was changing her name because she didn't want to be known as the princess while she's out there in the village and stuff like that. So yeah. So and then just I could just see the comedy with Stein, like that guard Steiner or whatever his name is, just kind of going through and trying to go, oh, princess and all this stuff. Like I can just kind of foresee all that happening, but I think at 8 would be a really spectacular one, especially if it was able to be like a Final Fantasy, almost like a Hogwarts Legacy style, to where you see you see all these other students that are also soldiers that are also going to school with you and stuff like that. Like I think that would be very spectacular if they were to
You
do something
also
like that.
got points and stuff based on doing a test.
Exactly. Yeah.
You get the seeds test.
Yeah, and that was something that intrigued me because at that time period in my life, I was interested in trying to join the military and stuff. So all that stuff, fantasy wise, yeah, but yeah, it still intrigued me that there's actually rankings there, and it was just so cool to me. So yeah, but as far as back to the story though, on here, Final Fantasy IX remake, man, if this is real, boy, let me tell you, that will be something spectacular. And I think that was definitely turning some heads. So only time would tell. But right now, that list is looking pretty enticing. Story number 4, Nightball. But before we get into that, I want to remind everybody that's listening or watching right now that you guys can go to Rep Sports, REPPsports.com. Type in ALWT Gaming at checkout. Get 15% off your workout powders, your water supplements, your Raise energy drinks, which is what I mainly use and I would recommend. It's quite delicious, no sugar. Make sure you're checking it out. REPPsports.com. Type in ALWT Gaming at checkout. 15% off, 15% sign off. Also, just a little reminder, this Thursday we're going to be continuing our SIN segment, which is Strength in Numbers. As we play through Bloodborne, we beat the 2 bosses, but I guess 1 main boss this past Thursday, and we're going to try to go on through the story and just try to beat the game entirely, and then go on over to the next game. And then next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday is going to be our 9 to 5 segment as we play through Swords of Legends Online for the first time. So,
God, I still gotta make space for that.
Yeah, you got a full week, so you're good. But that's just something to throw out there in case you guys are trying to see what's going on there. That's going to be literally how the name is. It's going to be 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this Thursday, I didn't mention this, instead of it being at 8 p.m. like we normally do Eastern Standard Time, it's actually going to be at 5 p.m. So be on the lookout for that because we got the time to do it. So we're going to be jumping on just a little bit earlier and getting through some more Bloodborne. But back to the story. Story number 4. Sony investing in Epic. Marcus Stewart from Game Informer says this in their article. Epic Game has announced it's received a $2 billion investment into its metaverse development, half of which comes from Sony. The PlayStation maker, which already has a minority interest in Epic, has thrown $1 billion at the Unreal and Fortnite developer to create, quote, new social entertainment exploring the connection between digital and physical worlds, end quote, according to the press release. The other $1 billion comes from the investment holding company Kirkby, majority of the Lego group. That's what it was. It wasn't Microsoft, it was Lego. That's what it was. Last week, Epic announced a partnership with Lego to develop a family-friendly metaverse targeting children. The press release states that today's investment will bring Epic's estimate valuation to $31.5 billion. As a creative entertainment company, we are thrilled to invest in Epic to deepen our relationship into the metaverse field, a space which creators and users share their time, said Sony Group President, Chairman, CEO Kenichiro Yoshida in a press release. Quote, we are also confident that Epic's expertise, including their powerful game engine, combined with Sony's technologies, will accelerate our various efforts, such as the development of a new digital fan experience in sports and our virtual production initiatives, end quote. The investment comes after Epic officially released Unreal Engine 5 last week, an engine that would likely play a significant role in development whatever non-Fort metaverse Epic has in mind. The metaverse continues to be a popular buzzword as tech companies define their versions of the concept. Epic is seemingly ahead of a curve more than most businesses, given that Fortnite already embodies many of the all-encompassing digital world elements a metaverse is often presented as, making Sony's investment understandable from that sense. End quote, end story. Metaverse this, metaverse that, metaverse Nightball, where you at?
I really don't know. This is more of just them investing and probably move forward. I mean, it's good in a way. This is the good thing about competition.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you move. It makes you do things.
I am excited. Yeah, I'm excited for this, and I will say this because I know that people have been somewhat speculating this, and I've said this once before. I'll say it again. Fortnite at this point is no longer a game. It really isn't. When you're able to put full-on concerts in your game, That's doing something. That happened a couple times. That doesn't just happen one time. That happened a couple times. They also went ahead and had a couple of events that, like the little when you had to fight Galactica or whatever. Like that was, they have different events in general that go inside of Fortnite. Yes, is it technically a game? Yes, it is, definitely. But it is one of those things where it's like they had these different things that brings it more than just pressing A, B, up, down, triangle, whatever. It literally is kind of getting engaging, trying to socialize, trying to have you experience music, and just art in all these different ways and different manners. So I do believe that if anyone were to do it, it would be Epic. I do think that Sony, I'm assuming probably Microsoft is going to be investing in that too as well, especially if it's at $31.5 billion. It's not just Sony. Sony only invested about $2 billion into it. So obviously that those other billions are coming from elsewhere. It is something that I think is interesting, and I'm curious to see if that's going to be the world, like if that world's going to exist while we're alive. You know, this is something I feel like it's going to be a long-lasting development. Technology, yes, comes out fast, but I don't know if programming with technology comes out nearly as fast as we would expect it to be, like on a Sword Art Online level or Log Horizon level or something like that. So, and obviously I'm not talking about Sword Art Online or Log Horizon to where like if you die in the game, you die in real life. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about, again, just how immersive it is to where if I reached up and I grabbed the sword, I'm actually feeling like I'm holding that sword. I can swing it however I want, all that good stuff. If I die in the game, yes, it's game over, but I can just respawn and just play again or something like that.
I really need to look into what metaverse is.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting, yeah, might as well brush up on it a little bit more just because we're hearing more and more companies steering that way, almost like we did for NFTs, but the difference between NFTs and Metaverse is that Metaverse, they're actually trying to go more on a progressive and a positive manner. NFTs, they just have yet to actually figure that out. It looks like that's going to be trying to be the future with a lot of businesses, but they just have yet to actually find a good way to make that enticing for consumers.
Oh, okay, I get it. So it's okay, I see. It's like buying land just in a virtual space.
We're talking about NFTs or Metaverse?
Looks like metaverse.
Yeah, because I said NFTs is more like the lines like you own artwork or you own licensed product or something like that, and it should carry on over to the next game, or you can sell it off and have a stake in an investment of some sort. But yeah, it's all weird stuff. Story number 5. You may be surprised, you may not be, but PSVR 2 may be a 2023 thing. Here Creator from Games Radar says this in the article. The PlayStation VR 2 might launch in 2023 if one experienced analyst is to be believed. The analyst will be Ross Young, seen in the tweet just below, claiming that Sony has quietly delayed the PSVR 2 headset to launch at some point in 2023. Now I'm going to stop the article there. If you guys want to read the tweet, you guys got to go to Games Radar by Hiran Creyer. That is Hirun Creyer, Creyer. All right, back to the article. It's worth bearing in mind that Sony has never actually announced a launch window for the new VR headset, but while may expected to launch this year, that might no longer be the case. Earlier this year in February, a leaker claimed that the PSVR 2 headset was targeting a release for the start of 2023. This claim originated from a leaker who previously revealed Horizon Call of the Mountain ahead of time, so there's a record to back up a new claim, even if the claim release date for the new headset PlayStation is quite large. However, some developers are actually already getting hands on time with the PSVR 2. Turns out that Sony quietly demoed the PSVR 2 at the Game Developers Conference, so GDC, behind closed doors last month in March. And developers who got to experience the showcase were impressed. One former Left 4 Dead led by Valve being particularly pleased with the demo. So there you go. So real fast, kind of marinating on this little topic. I know out of the here on ALWT Gaming, for At Least You Tried, out of the group that's in our group text message and all that good stuff, I think I'm probably the only one that's interested in this. Or at least interested to a degree of this one. I'm actually very interested on this. Just because, again, I got the PS5. I got everything that comes with the PS5, minus the charging station, the dual charging station, and this is just going to be icing on the cake. Like, I do think that this, if we're talking about metaverse, if we're talking about PlayStation VR and stuff like that, I think this would be the device to take us to that level of Sword Art Online and Log Horizon and Overlord and Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon and any other isekai that you can think of that will have an RPG element to it. So I'm actually excited for this, more or less down the road of what this is going to bring. I'm also excited about Call of the Mountain, which is the Horizon joint, which I do plan on picking up. But I want to hear your thoughts about this news. Are you surprised that it got delayed? Does this excite you any more at all for the game or the console that's going to be coming out? Where's your headspace at with this 9-ball?
Never really was in the VR like that. 2023, I'm not surprised. They haven't really talked about it at all. Really haven't touched on it that much. That probably means that they're still working on it.
Right.
It probably would push us down the line, like you said, towards the new one. As long as it don't push us too far into, hit the one life territory, like you said earlier.
Yeah, we ain't Sword Art Online in it, like literally. I still very much want to live.
Highly. But outside of that, I'm not really interested in the PlayStation VR. There's a lot of different VR ones to go to right now.
Yeah, I hear you. But there's something that you might be interested in, and that's Final Fantasy 14 updates, which is story number 6. John Carson from Game Informer says this in an article. Just a little update for you guys, for anyone that plays Final Fantasy 14, which I highly recommend. Last week, we saw a trailer for patch 6.1 of Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker as part of the letter for the producer presentation. This week, we now have a preliminary patch notes for the content coming in April 12th, which was today, came out today, ladies and gentlemen. So take that into account. The patch notes for 6.1 are long. All of these documents are for significant PS14 Final Fantasy 14 updates. Look at that! I just skipped from PlayStation 5 to PlayStation 14. I almost did. We'll be distilling some of the big takeaways below, but see every detail coming to the new version of Endwalker. Square Enix has publicly viewed them right here. So what's being included in 6.1 New Founders Adventure? Here's what's being included: 10 main scenario quests. 4 Chronicles of New Era quests, 4 role quests, Alliance Raid Dungeon Algilia added, a new unnamed dungeon added, new PvP mode Crystalline Conflict with 3 arenas, new trial, the Minstrel's Ballad and Singer's Area, Unreal difficulty added for Ultima's Bane trial, Adventure Plates beta added, new plots of land available for purchase, Endwalker's New Game Plus chapters added, duty support system, the Unending Codex has been added, new emotes, sightseeing log changes, new Rothgar and Vieta hairstyles, Gato collaboration returns, new mounts, new minions, new items, and new recipes. Patch 6.1 has a lot to look forward to for both new and experienced players. This update marks the first step into a whole new storyline. The new raid and dungeon content will keep progression players busy for some time, and adding new duty support system to the dungeons in the level of 1 through 50 content is huge for players who want to solo level through the game as much as possible. Not to mention those free companies who have dreamed of having player housing and plot of land have a chance to make that dream a reality. 9-ball. That's a lot of updates. I know we talked about this off stream. I'm still currently in Stormblood, getting through that government issue, if you will. And then after that, I'll be in Shadowbringer. And then after Shadowbringer, I'll be in Endwalker. Not to mention the interludes between the DLCs. What does this news do for you? Is there anything that sticks out to you that seems to grab your attention and that is exciting for you?
Everything seems to grab my attention. This is very good. I mean, they added content for everybody.
Yeah.
This isn't just for high level players only. Like, you got to be max level in order to get into it. They have some low level ones, some ones that can help you get the game and level up faster. Some of them that make you people that like to, like they said, plot lands and maybe build things. build it. It's got content for everybody. I mean, why aren't you playing this? I'm just gonna play it just because this just came out. I'm gonna be looking forward to this. I'm excited. I'm gonna be jumping on it shortly. Probably go eat and play some of this. 'Cause this looks amazing.
I want to find a way of how I can buy land. Like, I just want to buy a house for us so we can just be chilling, have a headquarters. You know what I mean?
Looking that up right now.
Yeah. Share that with me, please, if you will, because I would like to go ahead. I think I have enough money to do it. Like, I have quite a bit of money, so I can definitely go ahead and do that on Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. I need to jump back into it and get further progression inside the lore of that, the story of that, so that way, again, finish out Stormblood, go on over to Shadowbringer, then get to Endwalker, because I bought it and I'm just waiting for myself to actually get to that point. So
yeah, I can't. This is amazing. Like, more job quests and more role quests, allied dungeons. I mean,
a lot to do. Just a lot to do with this game.
I still have not played PvP though. I
haven't either. There's so much to do that I don't have time to worry about PvP at this moment. So yeah,
it's coming up. I'm so excited for it. I want to give it a go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:00 on the dot. I'm in my drop top. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, like literally it's 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That it has been our show. So again, just a reminder, this Thursday is going to be our SIN segment, which stands for Strength in Numbers. And that's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give or take, there might be a little bit of a, depending on how the stream's going and how we're feeling as far as progression through the game. We may end it earlier. It's not going to be later because we don't have to work the next day. We'll find out. And then next Tuesday, we're back here, back at it like a bad habit. All Things Gaming, episode 16 for season 2. That'll be next Tuesday, and that's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until roughly about 7:30 p.m. And then another Sin segment. And then Saturday is going to be our 9 to 5 as we go through Swords. So be on the lookout for that from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. If you guys want more of this content, please consider following us on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all of that, anything that's social media platform. Just type in ALWT Gaming. If you guys can't find us on YouTube, just type in At Least We Tried Gaming, because At Least We Tried, and we should be able to pop right on up. You guys will see a little template, have the little robot guys on the little corner, and this will be ALWT Gaming. You might even see my face like this. No, you won't see that. But what you will see is some good, amazing content as we go through this. I want to give a shout out again for anyone that's been subbing to us. If you guys have a Amazon account, if you guys have a Twitch account, if you guys combine them together, then you guys probably didn't know that you guys can actually get a free sub on a monthly basis that you guys can go ahead and give away. It's free money. Might as well go ahead and do it. If you want to do it for us, it's perfectly fine. We encourage you guys to give it to another streamer out there because they're probably working hard and trying to get their channel off the ground just like we're trying to do as well. But of course, you just have to merge them together, and then you just, like I said, you just go ahead and give that free sub to any Twitch viewer out there, or viewer content creator out there.
Yeah, don't let it go to waste.
Yeah, please don't. I mean, right now we're at 4 subs and our goal is 15. So if you guys want to consider doing it for us, there we go. We'll appreciate it for sure. We might even be able to give away a PS5. You know? Till next time.
Find one. All right.
Control, Alt,
Complete.
Peace, love, and hair grease. Had to do it. I had to do it.